Last week I ran over my opinions of 2024 and how overall I did feel in some aspects it was a letdown, but they made up for it in the long run. So this week I'm going to be going over my wish list for 2025. And if you do enjoy, please like and subscribe. Go follow my Twitch, Twitter and TikTok all in the description of this video. Make sure you comment down below your wish list for 2025 if I miss anything. Without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Now first up, I want to see them stick to the current operator release schedule they have at the moment, where we get 2 new operators a year and 2 reworks. Why is this good for the game? It's because it makes more in-depth and developed characters. For example, Deimos and Scopos are some of the best operators we've ever had to this game in years. It's been years since we saw an operator this detailed, with on top of having a new gun, a really intricate and thought out gadget. Really, there's no complaints there. I get there can be complaints with the rework, however, reworks oftentimes are just better for the health of the game because it takes less effort in the sense they don't have to develop new weapons, as they can just focus on the gadget or what is bad about the, operator. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if they're going to get a rework, it's going to be for the best. They're going to make the operator better overall. Like, you look at Blackbeard, who is extremely underpowered, extremely underpicked, no one really chose him, and compare him to now, it's night and day. Same can be said for Dachanka back in year 5, and when they took away his LMG and made it his primary. That put him in a spot where, okay, he isn't, hard meta, but he's still useful. He has his uses, like top 4 consulate to deny plants, and ultimately, it's better than nothing. Next up, it should go without saying, I want to see more maps getting changed and more maps being added. Last year, we didn't see a single new map get added. This ultimately led the last year feel pretty dry outside of the new operators getting added. So what I'd like to see is maybe 2 reworks and 1 new map a year. I think that is like a good, consistent release pattern. And I'm not talking major reworks like the consulate rework or the chalet rework. I'm talking like, if you want to, just make changes to other maps to make them overall just better. For example, the one that always sticks to mind, Coastline, the VIP had a double window, and they went around and done a season where they just changed a bunch of maps. Like, they just added small wee things, but made the better flow of the game. They added a wall instead of a big window in VIP, ultimately leads to VIP actually being a good site to hold. Just a small personal gripe of mine, I want to see the old battle pass system come in. The current one is poo-poo, no one likes it. Now my next wish list for 2025 is going to be, it's less of a game wish, it's more of a Ubisoft wish. And ultimately, if you haven't seen the news, Ubisoft are not doing well. They're not making a bunch of money. And if Ubisoft goes under, the future of Rainbow Six Siege is not looking bright. I mean, who would want it? The first person that comes to mind would be Tencent, but again, they did make Marvel Rivals, so who knows if they would buy them over. So what I would like to see in 2025 is just Ubisoft put all their eggs in one basket and fully develop Rainbow Six Siege, just the only moneymaker from the last year. Now next, I would love to see more collaborations inside of Siege, whether that's with other Ubisoft IPs, other IPs such as Dead by Daylight. It's always nice to have more collaborations, because the more collaborations you have, the more it branches the gap between game to game, and the more you're going to get new players to the game. I mean, God, the last time I played Dead by Daylight was because there was a Siege crossover, and also because Tuberal was in Dead by Daylight first, because of the way that shitty season got released. Well, fun fact for you. But I would like to see more collaborations overall, whether that's with, adding operators from other Ubisoft IPs, but still keeping it grounded inside, Siege would be nice, or even just like skins. Like, I'd love to see rabid skins. Like, and I don't want to hear the whole argument that, oh, it's a realistic game, they're trying to keep it realistic. Motherfucker, we have Iana in the game. Iana just spawns a clone in. I don't give a fuck. Like, they can do goofy characters. We've seen Mr. Mises from Rick and Morty get added to the game, and that was it was a cool skin. It's a cool skin for Ace. So why can't we just get the similar thing, but with rabbits? And don't even lie, the Enzo Flores Elite skin, that is some of the best skins in this game. Next, I would love to see Ubisoft just implement more things to do in Siege. When I'm not feeling ranked, I just don't play the game. I don't want to play. I don't want to play quick match because quick match is boring. I don't want to play team deathmatch and all that because I find that boring as well. I just want to see more game modes in the game, because I feel as if that's a big struggle with every game at the current moment. Any game you play it for one reason only and you get off. The only games that don't do that is Fortnite and Roblox. Those are the only games that have nailed it, where if you're not feeling one mode, you go play another mode. If Rainbow Six Siege want to make as much money as possible and want to survive, ultimately they need to nail that. At the moment, you play ranked, or unranked or quick match, and then you get off. You go play with your mate maybe. Now, I have a bit of bias on this one because I'm a sucker for esport, but I would love to see more of an esport integration. I know we have the skins as it is. You give a random player a team like Fnatic, and they can tell you, oh, that's Fnatic. If you give them the logo, they can tell you. They can, if you show them the skin, they'll tell you. But I guarantee you right now that the player that is looking at Fnatic can't name anyone on Fnatic. And that's not a dig at Fnatic or the players on Fnatic, because I do think they're an incredible team and probably some of the best talent that we have in EU. But I do feel as if there's a bit of a disconnect. I like in CS where, you know, you have this built-in one-to-one integration with the esport and the game. No matter how bad CS is at the moment, you can still point at a random player who is, you know, playing ranked and whatnot and ask them who's on the current Na'Vi roster, and they probably can name that for you. I'd like to see something like a, you know, pick'ems. I think that's what they're called in CS, where you pick what team you think is going to win what match, and ultimately you get a reward out of that. They do have that already on the Siege website, where you know, you can predict who you think is going to win, and if you're correct through the whole of SI or that LAN, then you'll get some packs out of it. But I feel as if it'd be nice to see it built into the game. So you go over to the esports tab and you can see what matches win, like in Valorant as well. Valorant's got that. And you can predict who you think's going to win. I think it would just be really nice for the game and really beneficial to players as a whole, because ultimately, I feel as if there's a disconnect coming from Apex competitive. There's a large disconnect between the players that play the game for fun and pro players. And you're always going to have a disconnect, don't get me wrong. However, I feel as if the disconnect on Siege is amplified due to the fact that the game is in a state where you can't stream scrims or pro tournaments, which is a good rule, don't get me wrong, because it provides less stream sniping and whatnot, because people are scummy and will do that. You know, just go look at the console tournaments, you know, or ask Fet as well. Fet has made multiple videos, Fet R6, on people just stream sniping in console tournaments and nobody cares. Ultimately, I do feel as if we had more of an implant between the Pro League and the game, people would know it more. People would pay attention to Pro League more. Next up, I'd like to see more attachments get added to the game. Good idea would just to have one new 1x optic and a 2.5 optic added each year, whether it be a 1x at the beginning and a 2.5 at the end, or like halfway through, both at the same time. Ultimately, adding more attachments means it shows that the game is constantly getting updated, you know, and no matter what size you're on or how you're playing, your character is going to get updated, because if you update the game as a whole, people are going to feel it more. I ultimately feel as a whole, for the history of this game, they've never really understood how to balance attachments in Rainbow Six Siege, and there's still a massive unbalance to this day. You know, the angle grip used to dominate, then they nerfed that into the ground, and now the horizontal grip dominates console, but you can never really run it on PC. It's a bit of an awkward one, to be honest. This could be a controversial one, but I would like to see them test some underbarrels potentially in a test server. Maybe an underbarrel launcher for, I don't know, grenades or C4s or whatnot, just to give you that extra throw distance would be nice. It would be an interesting concept. I don't know if it would actually be utilised well, but it's a different thing to the game. Next up, weekly Siege Cup. I don't know why it's like every 3 weeks we get a Siege Cup and then you have to wait for it to come back around. It should be weekly. And it should be every single weekend day. Saturday, Sunday and Friday. Sort of like how they have it running in Valorant with their Premier system. Don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, but it's always on whenever you want to play it. And also, please, just more rewards from the Siege Cup. Alpha packs are just not it. Like, I know it's special alpha packs, but really the cosmetics in that are poo-poo. I'd like to see some animated cosmetics, like some universal weapon skins, sort of like Dark Matter in Call of Duty. That would be nice to see, whether it's pink or flashing light. I just want to see it different, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, if someone has won a Siege Cup, it's hard to tell that they have. It's pretty unnoticeable. And to finish it off, I'm not going to comment on the balance in the game at the current moment in time, because the balance is always pending to change. Siege is always evolving, and we're going to see Blackbeard get nerfed throughout the year, so I'm not even going to bother saying that. But all I would want to see is overall, just more content in the game. Ultimately, the game's pretty dry if you're just playing it day in, day out, and there isn't much reason for anyone who isn't currently playing the game to come play the game. Give us more of a reason. Give us more content. That's more I'm asking for. I don't want to see what we had last year with New Blood, and new season gets dropped. Everyone's hyped for it. There's nothing in it. There's literally nothing in the update. No blue balling, please. But that being said, that's where I'm going to end off the video. I hope you enjoy. If you do, please like and subscribe. Go follow my Twitch, Twitter and TikTok, all in the description of this video. And without wasting any more of your time, I'm going to let you get on with your day. I love you and leave you. Mwah!